Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. Welcome to LindyGroove LiveStream. Woo! If you are new to our stream and want to know a little bit more about Lindy Hop, this brilliant social dance art form originated from African American culture, Melissa will be posting a short clip on its origin and cultural significance over here in the chat. Now with that, we have our triple step warm up, vegetable warm up with Christine, followed by the stew warm up and musically solo, wonderful purple fuchsia lesson with Laurel, and maybe Sparrow will make an appearance. And followed by Brady Bunch collaboration time, birthday shout out, and smile to share. Now let's say hi to Melissa. Hello.
Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in to LindyGroove Live. If you're watching the stream right now, be sure to hit the share button so your friends can dance along with you from home. As always, I will be in the chat to answer your questions, read your comments. Be sure to say hello, let us know where you're dancing from. We always love to hear from you. And a big shout out to our donors from last week. We have Jacob, Michael, and Shiri. Thank you guys so much for helping to make LindyGroove Live happen. If you want to help support LindyGroove Live, we have our PayPal and Venmo links in the stream description, and I'll be posting them later in the chat, so be sure to check those out. And now, without further ado, we have, as always, the lovely Trisha to introduce tonight's Brady Bunch. Trisha, hi.
Hi, Melissa. Aw, you calling me lovely always makes my week. Thanks, Melissa. Well, I am so excited to introduce everyone, especially we've got some new faces in the stream tonight. Yay, welcome. So happy to have you. First up, we've got our LindyGroove leaders, Lance and Vicky, as always. And you just heard from Melissa. And of course, we have our LindyGroove ghost, Brett. He's in the background making it go. And tonight we have Laurel making her LindyGroove live debut with her fuchsia hair. So cute. We're so excited. Yes, we are so excited. We've got Jake and Sam and Christina and Shiri and Calvin in his matching shirt. Get yours. Maybe make a comment in the stream and see if we can get some more t-shirts out there. Right, Lance? Yeah, cool. We've got Martin and Nika and Shade and Pauline and Idalia, and of course, leading us in our triple step warm-up, complete with French fries, Christine! Yay! Triple step.
One of these days I'll actually have a plate of fries here for the warm-up.
I would love that.
If only. Just a little healthy snack while you're dancing. Thanks, Trisha Cat, for the intro.
You
heard it right. You heard it right. We're doing the triple step warm-up. Like we did. I just heard a crashing. I think it was a cat.
No, it was the LindyGroove ghost. It was Brett. Ooh. He's delivering French fries to you.
Oh, man. Okay.
Brett.
Ghost fries.
Can't see them or eat them.
Just in time for our triple step warm-up, the fries have been delivered by Ghost Grubhub. Okay, so our traditional LindyGroove triple step warm-up, which we do here on the live stream, to Gordon Webster's version of Sweet Potato Fries with the lovely Naomi Uyama on vegetable vocals. I'm going to do everything facing you, so you can use me as a mirror and start everything on your right foot on the count of 1. We start with stomping. Don't forget to support Gordon Webster and other swing bands that we play on this live stream on Bandcamp. There's a website, Is It Bandcamp Friday, so you can maximize your purchase and make sure the proceeds all go to the bands. And extra points for the woohoos, the help me babies, while jumping into the deep fryer. How you want to work that out is up to you. Yes, there's 2 points in the music, one near the beginning, one near the end, where you hear a little bump bump. We hop into the deep fryer. We come out double fried, little glow up. All right, so let's do it. If I had my music queued up. I got distracted by the prospect of real fries. Here we go. starting everything on this foot, stomping on one. And 5, 6, 5, 6, here we go, stomping.
Coming down, they
Stomp.
get to creeping for just fine. The dining in the timing with my sweet potato fries.
Step touch, here we go.
When men try my spuds, they claim the other gals are duds. Does wonders for the hunger of my sweet potato fries.
Triples, here we go.
When they
Triple.
come and meet looking for a treat, they get taters.
It's already time for the first break.
You can take a seat,
Here we go.
to eat.
Hoop, hoop.
A dish
Into
is
the
just a
fryer.
dish if it's one
No, maybe, to the left. Triple.
Your appetite down
Enter
to
triple.
grab a bite. You'll never
Enter.
have no better than my sweet potato
Enter.
fries.
We go forward and back. Hoop, and back. Double time. Slow. Forward. Double time. Slow. Double time. Back to stomping. Step touch. Triples. Forward. I'm changing it up. Double time. We go forward with the piano. Play the piano. Double time. Tickle the ivories. Forward and back. Double time. Slow. Double time. Back to stomping. Step touch. Triples. Triple, triple. Forward with the horn. Double time. Slow. Double time. Back to
Well, I
stomping.
ain't got much to show, but
Step
I'm
touch.
feeling fast or slow. My
Triples.
sweetie loves to eat it all my sweet potato fries.
Stomp with
Don't
attitude.
got time, don't got money, but I got the juice to try.
Triples.
'Cause I'm a yummy yummy with my sweet potato fries.
Feel the burn. More triples.
I can hardly wait, looking for a date with my honey. He knows where to look when he needs a cook. I'll fix him up a dish and then I'll talk to your mom.
Stomping.
Dinner is served tonight. Come
Step
get
touch.
your fill and feel just right. You'll
Triples.
never have no better than my sweet potato fries.
Forward and back.
Get the salt, pepper too.
Double time.
That's all the flavor that I'll add for you. You'll never have no better than my sweet potato
Double time.
fries.
Cross. Turn. Sizzle. Wait for the applause, always. Yes, thank you, thank you.
Yes, applause for you, for you.
And
So-
you, and you, and you.
And you, and you. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. The musical version. Did you enjoy those ghost fries? Did you get a moment to have any of those, Christine?
I think they're coming up a little bit now, but you didn't leave enough time.
The acid reflux
Yeah.
of the ghost fries. Gross. How was your class before this?
Super fun. We're in week 2 of Charleston Rhythms Month. I think Lance likes it. He's clapping. Yeah, we're having a super fun time. This month is Charleston Rhythms. Next month is Charleston Patterns. So we have more time to work on this glorious thing called Solo Charleston. And yes, it's it's awesome. And Melissa and I teach CardioGroove every Sunday. Hey. And that's been a blast. It's so much fun. You don't need any experience. Bring your friends and family. We have a lot of fun putting together an hour of dance tunes. That's the best way to describe them, dance tunes. And yeah, it's a great way to start your week on a Sunday evening.
Yeah, like Christine said, we teach a class on Sundays, and if you missed your chance to sign up for any of our series, we have all of our awesome series going on right now. We have Solo Jazz 1, Solo Blues series, routine. And if you missed your chance to sign up for the series, don't worry, because we have 2 drop-in classes every single week. We have Sunday, we have CardioGroove with me and Christine, and every Thursday, right before this, we have our Solo Fundamentals class. If you've taken either of these classes and you had a good time, let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. It's a great time. It's a great way to get you guys moving and working on jazz fundamentals throughout the week. So definitely recommend you guys checking those out. You can sign up at LindyGroove.com/lessons. The link's in the chat. And now, without further ado, it is my great pleasure to introduce our special guest instructor for our second warm-up. We have the wonderful fuchsia, purple, amazing, glowing Laurel Ryan.
What an introduction. I wish to be described always as fuchsia and glowing, regardless of hair color. So, I don't mean to brag, but I did have sweet potato fries for dinner. And yeah, I agree with you about I'm very method in my teaching, you know. I want to make sure that I'm with you at every step. And also had a conversation about hauntings to be prepared for our next tune, which is You Got Me Voodooed, as sung by Jonathan Stout and Campus 5, featuring Hillary Alexander. And since you've been working on Charleston rhythms, this should be way easier for you than it is for me. So I know that you've done this so many times, but just in case there are folks who are a little shakier on their stew than others, I will call it out, and I'm going to do my best to mirror you. So I'm going to start on my left, you're going to start on your right. And if I screw up on my mirroring, I am human. Woohoo! Let's get this. Five, six. That was it. Kick, 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 double, kick, 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 double, kick, and cross step. Double, one, switch. Squat, Charleston. And squat. Third one. Into the brakes. Boogie back.
Just like some magic.
Boogie forward.
You fill me with emotion.
Boogie back.
You control my very
And forward.
soul. You got me.
Pivot time.
You knew the goddess Venus who'd start this love between us.
And
You
pivot.
inspired me with
Pivot.
desire. You got me.
Fall off the log.
You knew you had power. You hit the hour when the moon was full of buzz. I was hypnotized when I looked in your eyes. My
One
heart was full
more
of love.
time. Here we go. And whoop.
Just like the siren Circe,
Sing.
you got me at your mercy.
Single.
Always yours to have and hold. You got me voodoo.
And cross step. Double back. Upside. Squat, Charleston. Up. Break. Boogie back. Boogie forward. Boogie back. Boogie forward. off the logs at the end. Boop, boop, boop.
Killed it. That was amazing. I always love watching Mama Stew. So if you guys don't know, the Stew was originally choreographed by dancers from the Savoy Ballroom in Harlem, but we often call it Mama Stew because Mama Lou and the Parkettes very famously performed it together. So if you check out the chat right now, you can check out a clip of Mama Lou Parkettes performing the Stew if you want to see that. And if you were doing this warm-up with Laurel and you're like, I've never done Mama Stew, I don't know what this is, don't worry, because you can rewatch all of LindyGroove live streams on our Facebook page. If you go to our Facebook page and you click on videos, go to our very first LindyGroove live stream, and we have a full breakdown of the Stew so you guys can learn it. And any of the lessons that we've done, any of our guest instructors, you can go back and you can watch any of them and get some dancing in whenever you'd like to. So that's always exciting. And as always, if you want to keep up with everything going on with LindyGroove Livestream, we have our Facebook event that you can follow. That link is also in the chat. So if you go to the event and you click interested, you can get all the updates going on. You can learn about our guest instructors, everything that's going on, our new classes. And of course, if you want all the updates, you can always follow us at LindyGroove at Facebook and on Instagram, and you can be updated with everything that's going on with us. And now, without further ado, I hope I've given her enough of a break. Oh wait, before that, I also want to introduce, we have Sam here, who's gonna be helping out our extra pair of eyes on the lesson today. We're so excited to have her joining us. And we, of course, have our amazing guest instructor, Laurel Ryan, with her amazing, I love your like yellow outfit, by the way. I feel bad I did not compliment you earlier because I saw you doing the Mama Stew and I was like, oh my God, amazing outfit. I love it.
2020 has been the year when I really just dive into the jumpsuit look. I'm like, pants, tops, what are those? I'm going all the way. Head to toe. So, less about my incredible fashion. It fools people into thinking that I'm fashionable because I wear a loud print over my whole body. And people are like, how bold? And I'm like, I just didn't want to make choices. So, here we are. That's a little insight into the way my brain works, aside from just mad ADHD. So, here's how this class is structured for all the Brady Bunch and everybody out there. The way that I tend to lead classes is with the knowledge and assumption that everybody here is coming with some experience, whether it's actually in, jazz dancing or outside of it, just you being a person in this world, you have a voice already within this dance. And so I want to use this time to explore how we can apply those, our personal experiences and voices to our improvisation. So we're going to be doing a lot of improv. I don't have any choreography. I don't know if those faces are like yay shocked faces or like oh no faces. But we're just going to be taking some movements and exploring them. And Sam is here to help kind of facilitate, like when we're improvising, oftentimes we just like get into a brain fog and I'm like, I don't know what I just did. So part of what Sam is doing is she's going to keep an eye on you as you dance, as we all dance together, and remind you of some of the cool stuff that you forgot you did. So let's start with let's start with a song. So I'm going to play a little tune for you, and it's Viper's Dream as performed by Jan Hodge All Stars. And listen to a few seconds of it, and then I want you to think of an adjective or a way to describe how this song feels to you. Feelings. All right. So if you were to just describe the feeling of the song to somebody who hadn't heard it before, what are some things that you would say?
It's very relaxed. Like I imagine myself like afternoon cocktail walking down by a dock near the river.
I was struck by how spare it is. It felt the sound was spare to me. All those instruments in unison. Not yeah.
So for you, there's for Dahlia, it's relaxed. For Shane, there's space between the instrumentation, so it's not just a wall of sound coming at you. Any other impressions? Go for it, Christina.
Swanky.
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 And Christine.
I had a very specific visual of just like a parade of elephants. Wait, okay, Martin thought too. Like they're like linked trunk to tail, and they're just cruising along. I just couldn't get that out of my head.
I heard relaxation and swanky, and I'm like, I heard a parade. I thought it was at a fairground.
Excellent. See, I think this is incredible because it shows how we're already all bringing a slightly different perspective to the same song. We all heard the same thing, but the way that it made us feel, or the where our imagination went, is different. So let's take a couple. We're gonna take a couple of named jazz moves. So since you are all coming with some experience. Who cares how much it is? You have some jazz moves that you know. Can anybody just throw out like a move with a name that we could do to this?
Camel walk.
Camel walk. Okay. Does everybody know? Well, let's just do. So camel walk, for those who might not know it, it is a 3-count series. So you have a step, a scoot of the back leg, and then your weight is on the back leg, and then you switch your weight. So you have a step, a scooting of the back leg, and then you switch. So let's try that a couple times in a row. You have a 5, 6, 7, 8, step, scoot, switch your weight, step, scoot, switch your weight, step, scoot, switch, step, scoot, switch, step, scoot, switch, step, scoot, switch. One more time. Just kidding. This is the last one. So that's our camel walk. And then it can, of course, go more or less stylized depending on how you like it. It's always going to be, it's just make it look like you. All right, so we have camel walks. Let's stick with the camel walk for right now, and let's apply the adjective swanky. So I'm going to play a portion of the song, and let's do some swanky camel walks. And once we've done them, we're going to talk about how we made them swanky. Or if swank is just your natural, then you'll be like, I just did me. But we're going to talk about how. Swanky camel walks. All right, swanky camel walks. I know Sam was watching.
It looked so good, so swanky, y'all. Nika had this like awesome like lean back with her camel walk, which I loved. And then Trisha had a whole bunch of different things going on with her arm extended out and to the side. I saw a lot of shoulder action, a lot of sharp shoulder action going on here too. It was phenomenal, fabulous.
Ah, yay for everyone. So some shoulders, some leaning back, some arms. Did anybody have something that like surprised them? Like, oh, my body does this when I think of swank.
I mean, apparently I become a teapot. I was doing this a lot. I think that's what Sam meant with my hand. I don't know if that's swanky, but that's what happened to me.
Look, the only teapot with a voice that I know of is Mrs. Potts, as voiced by the Angela Lansbury, who, has she ever done anything wrong in her life? If she has, don't tell me. So, any other thoughts with that?
Certain part of the song makes me want to rotate with the camel walk, and certain parts that actually makes you want to go backwards, which I haven't figured out how to do that yet. So, yeah.
Like a camel moonwalk. So, what in the music made you want to turn?
I think certain horns were doing like a wah that makes you want to like turn a direction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's so cool that you're using that musical inspiration to change the direction of this named move, which is another like layer to improvising that we can all incorporate. It's like oftentimes helps to like think one thing at a time, but when you've gotten a thing and you want to add another thing, like okay, I got the swank down. I'm a fancy teapot and this is where I am. What else can I do with it? Go backwards. And we're like, open up the flowers. I'm like, man. I also see in the Brady Bunch a lot of people trying to figure out this backwards camel walk. So if any of you figure it out, we'll chat about it. Let's use that same movement. Let's use camel walks to try we had a couple other people talk about like a parade or elephants. So if instead of thinking like swank, you're thinking more elephant, how do you dance this? So I'm going to play the rest of the song. We're just going to start from the middle, and let's all be a parade of elephants. I lied. I've already outed myself as a non-truth teller. We weren't halfway through the song, and I didn't play it to the end. So, as an elephant, how did your camel walk change? Go for it, Jake.
So the thought about horns and elephants, although I had my camera focused on my feet, I found myself having my nose in the air, like my nose was a snout, being the horn. I see some nods in the Brady Bunch already, but that was in my head, and all of a sudden I caught myself really looking up at the sky, trying to get that horn sound in my head out into the world.
So having like that was you didn't hear any of that in the music, I hope, because that was not a great sound coming out of my mouth, but I'm sure out of your body it looked dope. Any other like ways that your camel walk changed? And Sam, Christine, go for it.
I've never done a wide-legged camel walk before, but a hunched-over, wide-legged camel walk, and I found myself kind of like using the rest after every 3 to kind of like throw my feet out, like kind of all flat-footed.
So your elephant meant a change of stance. Well, I guess for Jake too, that would be, having your nose in the air. When in my head, camel walks are oftentimes like my body position is bent over. And so then my line of sight and my nose is heading down. So up here, and also I think of it being like a small move. So for Christine, having your, like, I don't know what my hands are doing, but yeah, having like a different body position changes and a different stance, like the width of it will change the look of the move entirely. And Nika, I saw your hand up.
Yeah, I was thinking about my body being really heavy, like an elephant, but my arms being like an elephant's trunk and like all fluid. And so I was trying to like separate the weight of those two parts of my body, which was interesting.
Yeah. So did you find like an equilibrium, or was it easier going a direction or faster or slower?
Yeah, it was a lot easier to move my arms a lot slower than how my body was moving, because I was just like, pretend. I don't know. But breaking the rhythm of the arms and the feet is a difficult thing. And so trying to make my arms be really fluid while my feet were really chunky and I was an elephant. An interesting experience.
Yeah.
I think I did a similar thing to you, because for one, I was trying to do the math, Vicky, on the backwards camel walk, and I may have an answer. But I was also trying to like swing my arms side to side while going forward, and then I tried swinging them this way, which I never do while I camel walk, and I kept like doing this with one arm, which is super cool, but something to be aware of and either play with or change. So as far as the backwards camel walk, I think on the step, you'd scoot your back leg out, scoot, switch, step, slide. Ooh boy, I think it's a step, scoot, switch, step backwards, scoot, switch. Does that work for anybody else? So rather than a step forward and a scoot, maybe we're stepping backward, scoot the front leg, and then switch your weight, and backward, scoot, switch. Maybe something to play with. Thank you for your suggestion and contribution. All right, let's try these with a different move. Throw another named jazz move out there. Go for it, Sherry.
So the first one that popped into my head when you played the song, I also felt like a slower, swankier vibe, and my go-to for that feel is always fishtails. Just fishtailing on back and scooting your booty.
All right, so let's apply. I should have clarified this earlier. When I'm asking you to do these moves, I'm not saying like do them only, but I do want you to explore. Like it's easier to focus on what we're changing when we have a move in mind. So you can always do either half-time steps or full-time steps if you want to stick to doing a move and then just like doing something else jazzy, like bouncing in between. But yes, so for this one, we're going to do fishtails. And since fishtails tend to travel in one direction, and I don't know about you, but I can't travel backwards forever. I'm just going to throw that out there. You can do other moves to, or just turn around and go back the other way. Look, I'm not the boss of you. So let's apply the same two concepts. So like we're getting a cocktail. It's swanky. Strolling down by the pier, for those of you who live near piers. But now with fishtails. Recognize my face, you fool! All right, so we did some swanky fishtails. Sam is nodding like there's some good stuff. All right. Any like swanky fishtail tips? How did swank come out in your fishtails?
Can I share what I noticed from the Brady Bunch? So I noticed there were like kind of two camps. So the first one, I saw a lot of like hip movements and a lot of like dipping up and down and maybe a little bit of rotation. And then other folks did like a lot of kind of sharper movements. So there was this like contrast here. So some folks were doing it really smooth and rounded and some folks were like hitting those.
Oh, how interesting. That's so cool. Just a question from from my brain. Just a thumbs up or a not thumbs up. Did any of you have to make a sound in your head to make those movements? Nope. Okay. Just this guy. So Christy was with me. Shay was with me. Okay, so we've got a couple folks. Adelia, I oftentimes am making, if I want an expression out of my dancing, I have to make a little noise like So I guess rather than swanky, I was thinking more like elitist upper crust, maybe, because I was doing like a lot of in my brain like that's on me though. Thank you, Siri. So did anybody else have some more thoughts on like what pulled either your dippy hippies or your sharpness out of you? Like what was that, more of a music choice or a mood choice? Go for it, Christina.
Yeah, I found that like it was really fun to play with the rhythm on this one. So I would be like slow, slow, quick, quick, quick is slow, slow. So I was really playing with like the rhythm and just kind of focusing on that.
Dope. Jake was with you there. Go for it, Adalia.
Yeah, similar. And I think because of that slow, fast rhythm, for me, it was easier to do the curvy one because then I could go wah, ba, ba, wah, ba, da, ba, da, wah, ba, ba. So if it was, I don't know, maybe for other people, the wah, ba, ba, da, da. Actually, that works too, the sharpness. Sharp, ooh, ba, ah. But I love doing that twist, and that part felt really good for the song. So it's nice to see that it actually really works really well sharp. As actually maybe easier than the smooth one.
Yeah. Oh, that's so interesting. And I think not to like get more into like this is why I love this, but I miss this being able to like learn from each other. In a community. Sorry, this is my roommate, Michelle Stokes. She has a cat. Woo! Sparrow the cat. He typically is napping or trying to stay away from my dog, who has been exiled to the outdoors because she's very whiny. But since the dog is outside, Sparrow's decided now is his time. So if I step on him, look, it's dark.
I've been obsessing over him since he showed his tail a little while ago. I keep trying to spot him. I love him.
If I stay still too long, he'll try to climb me. So let's do some more dancing. So don't get so excited. All right. The other thing that we talked about was elephants, a parade of elephants, or a parade, or elephants, or elephant parade. Elephants on parade, the creepiest part of Dumbo. Gave me nightmares as a kid. Anyway, more insights into my brain. Let's try, there's only a little bit left in this song, so let's try to be elephant-like. All right, kudos to Jen Hodge All Stars for that banging tune, or banging rendition of that tune. So, I may be not alone in this thinking, but fishtails are particularly suited to being elephants. So how were you fishtailing elephant? Was there Sam? Was there? Did we fall into two camps again?
I didn't see two camps, but I saw some trends throughout everyone actually. So one of the big things that I noticed was there were a lot more fluid arms going on in this one versus the other one. So I saw a lot of like either one arms or two arms or, you know, sideways this way. And they all looked really kind of relaxed and flowy as opposed to the other set of fishtails that you all did. And then the second thing that I noticed was that we had much bigger steps for the most part, and like spreading out our steps through the fishtails.
Yeah, we've got to increase our footprint as twere. All right, and then I saw Nika and Vicky. So Nika, what happened?
Okay, so super exciting. We're thinking about elephants and taking big steps, but then I was thinking about what kind of steps elephants take, and they're not bounding, right? They're taking little steps with their really big feet. And so I thought about getting really low. You can't see me, but getting really low and having my feet really far apart, but then like only actually doing the shape really small. And that was cool because I've never really thought about what big means and what little means in terms of doing steps, right?
That's awesome. And then, yeah, so we have so many different parts of our body that we can use to make something large or small. And I know Adalia talked about this during her class, but we have limbs and a head and all these other joints that we can use to create the feeling of our steps. So if your fishtail, I mean, I'm doing this as I think of, if your fishtail is like mostly in your chest, like, then maybe it doesn't have the same, like, people wouldn't recognize that as much as a fishtail if you're using more of your hips. But if your steps are wide and your hips are small, still recognizable as a fishtail, as opposed to if my feet are close together but my hips are big, you're probably not gonna be like, yes, the classic fishtail. Right now, I feel like I look like one of those like inflatable people. Anyway, so that's a really interesting thing to play around with. All right, and then Vicky.
So I have the same idea as Nika, but going off of her idea, I feel like since elephant, it's big and slower movement. So I feel like on the horns, when you go bump, 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 that's equivalent of one side. So you go bump, 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 and then the other side, yeah.
So you're imagining the elephant as like moving the sides of its body in, I guess that's a bar of music. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. So each bar is one like classic elephant. Interesting. All right, I know we're getting close to the end here, but I want to try this exercise with another musical mood. So let's try, I'm gonna go with Buffalo Convention as performed by Keenan McKenzie and the Riffers. And I think the tempo is a little slower on this one. Okay. Before we discuss any further, can anybody give me some adjectives or description of the feeling of that song? So I saw a lot of you dancing. How did you feel?
Twinkle toes.
Twinkle toes. Is that because of the piano? Doodle-doodle-doo, doodle-doodle-doo. So twinkle toes. Any other feelings? Yeah, Christina.
I felt like it was a story being told. Like, so the beginning was like a soliloquy, and then like other people came in to tell the story. Like there was a conversation happening.
Oh, how interesting. So there's you have a scene in your head. That's so cool. So we have a story that, or a soliloquy that turns into a conversation. We have twinkle toes. Any other moods? Yeah, Jake.
I'm going to piggyback a little bit on the story thing. I felt like an eventful walk in the park. So like it's springtime, you're going down the walkway. You look on one side, someone's feeding the birds. You look on the other side, there's someone selling churros to a line of a bunch of kids. A lot of stuff going on in like a very busy, happy springtime outing. So it felt like in my mind.
How evocative. I love that this one tune is like just bringing forth an entire motion picture in your mind. That's incredible. So again, just given the time, I could literally do this with you all forever because I'm having fun and I don't have any concept of time. But thankfully I have a clock right here. So let's try mixing up camel walks and fishtails. So use either of those to tell this story. So you have twinkle toes and a soliloquy that turns into a conversation. You have a summer walk. So I don't want to restrict you to any one of those because it seems like everybody had this really great imagery in their mind. So focusing on those two named movements, but not exclusively, of course, then we'll have a little chat after we've danced to see how keeping that mood of the music changed the way that we did these movements. All right, let's dance. So, yay for you all for dancing. All right, I'm gonna give us all a chance to catch our breath a little bit while Sam points out some things she liked.
Y'all, it was so cool to be able to just like sit and watch this because every single person, I felt like I was just watching their own little snippet of a story. And I just would love to be able to know inside of your head, like, what were you thinking when you were doing those moves? Because they were all such cool things. Maybe I'll shout out a few folks, and then if you want to show it off and share it, if you even remember what I'm talking about, you can do that. Jake, I noticed at one point you were doing these kind of like sideways movements with these like finger guns off to the side, and I was like, yes, I love it. Do you want to show it and maybe share what you were thinking about during that?
I didn't actually realize I was doing finger guns. I was picturing that park scene in my head, so I was just like, oh, hey, there's a neighbor. Oh, yeah, there's that person from school. Oh, shoot, they're selling churros. It's almost acknowledging imaginary people around me. That's kind of, so it could have been finger guns, could have been a wave, could have just been, oh, hey. I didn't even realize I was doing that. Thanks for catching that for me.
Yes, love it. And then Idalia, I noticed that at one point you got really light and flowy and you had really extended movements. I'm also curious to know what story was happening there during that point, if you remember.
Was it this thing where I go like that? Was it that?
Yes.
I don't know. To me, it just feels like so relaxed and like I don't know necessarily that I was like thinking of a specific image, but like if you want to put an image to it, it's like opening the sun, or like the sky open to let in the light, or something like that.
Yes, amazing. And then Calvin, I saw you had this really like smooth turn at one point. You were like walking backwards and you just like hooked your foot around and then just like turned around. It was super suave and really cool. You're looking at me like, I don't remember. It's okay. I do this all the time.
Yeah, for most of the song, actually, I think I actually close my eyes a lot, especially when I'm trying to experiment with things. It kind of takes me out of like being too self-conscious. I kind of just I focus on the music and whatever happens happens. So I guess I got to pay more attention to that. Thank you.
Totally understandable. That is a big reason of why Sam's here, is because it is so easy to just like get lost in the sauce that we don't know what we're doing. So I don't know, as far as like practicing is concerned, for me, I have too many ideas that I want to do at the same time. And so it's hard for me to pinpoint a thing that I need to work on. And applying something like, okay, I'm going to do a mood. I'm going to do a mood, as the youths all say, do a mood, and then I'm going to record it, which is so uncomfortable. I'm going to record myself, and then I'm going to look at it, and I'm going to, and here's the challenge, find something I like and hold on to that thing, because it's so easy to be like, oh, I suck on camera. Well, you don't see yourself the way other people see you. As Sam is here to testify, she's watching everybody and is getting so excited and noticing things that you didn't even know you were doing. So you can be that person for yourself if there's not another person to be like, ooh, cool. You can do that. It just takes some practice. That's my challenge for everybody. When you see yourself on camera, find something you like and hold on to it forever. All right, so I know, of course, we're running a little over time, but did anybody have any thoughts on how the movements that we use, the camel walks and the fishtails, change to fit this mood, to achieve your goal of like telling a story or fitting what you were thinking about? Go for it, Jerry.
So it actually relates to when we were doing it to the first song a little more for me. When I suggested fishtails and then someone said they thought of elephants, I was like, those are so contradictory. What are you talking about? Because to me, fishtails feel like a slinky, sexy move because you're using a lot of hips and you're using your tushy and you're getting low and like it's a little body rolly. And then when I tried doing them like an elephant and it worked, or at least it felt like it worked, I was like, oh my God, like new vistas of like creativity are suddenly exploding in my brain where you're like, a move doesn't have to have, it still felt like a sexy, slinky move, but it felt like I was doing it in a totally like in a different universe. And I was like, oh my God, you can make any move, do anything you want it to, as long as you just put a different seasoning on it. And it was like, that's what that was for me. So
Seasoning. Awesome. That's amazing. Now I'm like, how else can I apply elephants in my in my solo jazz movement? All right. Any other discoveries or thoughts, struggles, prayer requests? Go for it, Calvin.
So I want to, I guess, piggyback off of Shiri. When you first played the second song that we just danced to, I was like, how am I going to dance fishtails? I didn't feel like fishtails or camel walks would fit very well the way I normally dance them. So for me, it was like a really interesting challenge to adapt the movement. Of course, I didn't do them the whole time, but it really like challenged me to accentuate different body parts or just kind of embody the movement in a different way. And I found it really enlightening, actually.
We're here to blow minds. That's awesome. I am with you in that I noticed I was doing them kind of as I was using them in different spots. So I don't know if anybody else had this experience, but I was using camel walks often to like kind of go through a movement, but then to kind of close out the phrase or close out the concept. Like, I'm in the park and I just said goodbye to the friend, fishtail. So fishtail was like the punctuation to the a camel walked towards my friend. And I'm like, this conversation is over. Fishtail or what? Like that's where those movements tended to show up in my dancing. Is they ended up having a purpose within that song. And like now I'm like, okay, let's pay attention to that in another song. If I'm using these two movements back to back, does it still fit in the same way or would I use them differently? So I also had discoveries. All right. Any other discoveries before I throw it over to Lance? Okay. Well, I'm just going to say thank you so much. This has been so much fun. I really enjoy spending time with everybody like this. You all are a treat. You are treasures. And yeah, had a great time. Thank you for having me. Lance.
Hello. Oh my gosh, Laurel, thank you so much for sharing that with us. I feel so inspired channeling all my inner animals. And I think during the Twinkle Toes part, I broke the rules a little bit and I was channeling Sparrow because it felt very cat-like. So I was going to work in the cat movement. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Woo-hoo! This is the time where we traditionally celebrate some birthdays. So celebrating birthdays this week or right about now, Jacob Wigger is having a birthday. Yay, Jacob. He gives so much to the scene. He helps out so many people. So many people have learned from Jacob. So happy birthday, Jacob. Laura Brown, happy birthday. Yesenia Lopez, happy birthday. And Dr. Q herself, Andia, is having a birthday. So happy birthday to all those folks. You know what to do on 3. Y'all unmute yourselves and we're going to sing the most beautiful cacophony ever. 1, 2, 3. Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, everybody. Happy birthday
to
you.
Help me, baby.
Yay! Now I'm just gonna fishtail out of here and hand it off to Melissa.
That was amazing. And I saw we also had some instruments, and we had all different tempos and pitches, and it was just an amazing display of everyone's creativity. So let us know what you thought of our amazing birthday song in the comments. As always, we'd love to hear it. And if your birthday is coming up, don't worry, we're gonna celebrate you better than just with this song on the stream. If it is your birthday, you can go to LindyGroove.com and you can take solo fundamentals, which happens before the stream. You can take 10 friends with you for free, and we're gonna send you some birthday decorations so that you guys can celebrate together and have an awesome time. You can check that out at LindyGroove.com. And now I'm gonna switch gears and go back, and I'm gonna thank our incredible guest instructor, Laurel Ryan, and we have Sam here who is pointing out all the amazing things that all of our Brady Bunch was doing. Let us know what you thought of the lesson. We love to hear back from you guys. We had such a great time dancing with all of you, and now I'm gonna hand it off. Oh wait, and before I say that, if you did like our lesson, be sure to donate to the LindyGroove Live, our Venmo and PayPal. LindyGroove Live provides a paid gig for instructors, so if you want to help donate to that, you can check out those links in the stream description. And now I'm gonna send it off to Vicky for Smiles to Share. Hi, Vicky.
Hello, thank you, Melissa. Before going to Smile to Share, I want to thank Laurel from One Purpley Fuchsia. It was an amazing lesson. Segue into our next week's Purpley Wall. Adalia will be teaching next week. That's correct, right? Yes! So we're going to Purpley Fuchsia to purple. Right? Nice, yes, amazing wall. So looking forward to that a lot. So now it's for Smiles to Share. This week, I'm going to share something that HBO Max, official sponsor maybe, I don't know. HBO Max released a 30-minute cut of relaxing visuals of Studio Ghibli films. So they were nice enough to post this on YouTube's out there for everybody to watch and relax. So if you have 30 minutes, you need to chill. So go watch. Link will be over here. And next we're going to Melissa. Hello.
Hello. I really hope that we get a sponsorship from HBO Max. Just throwing that out there. HBO Max, if you're watching, we'll take a sponsorship. My Smile to Share is the opposite energy of Vicky's. Mine is a very funny little short video of a dog that has the zoomies. If you have a dog, you might be familiar, and they get like really hyper and they're just like running around. It's really cute, and then at the end, the dog like sploots on the ground. It's hilarious. Please watch it. It will bring you joy. So that was my Smile to Share, and with that, that is our stream. Thank you all so much. As Vicky said, we do have the wonderful Adalia joining us next week. She's here in the Brady Bunch this week. She had a lot of great dancing and amazing things to show us this week, so we can't wait to see what she has cooked up for us next week. As always, you can keep up with what's going on at LindyGroove on all our social media. We have our drop-in classes every Sunday and every Thursday, so you can check those out on the website. And of course, if you like what we're doing, you can donate to us via our PayPal and our Venmo. Thank you all so much for joining us. We're so excited to have you, and we will see you next week. Goodbye, everyone.
Good night.
Bye, everyone. Love y'all.
See you next week.
Good night. Goodbye. See you next week.
Next week.